or just on your squad, can you give us an update on the likes of Shane Long and James McCarthy?
Yeah, I will do. I'll go through them if you want me to. For Shane, for a start, I think would definitely be out. I think that's a report coming through from the Southampton physiotherapist. He injured himself against Inter Milan, probably know, and I think it would be too early for him. So that's a blow. James McCarthy, I've included James at this minute. Speaking to him, James is improving day by day. If the game, for instance, was this weekend, he wouldn't make it. It's the following weekend. I would say that he would be doubtful at this minute. You need to get some proper training in. He's been doing a little bit, but it's one of those. Well, I'll leave him in the provisional squad, and we'll see how things go. But I would say, obviously, he wouldn't make it this week, and he would need to be able to do something before that.
His club manager, Ronald Koeman, suggested previously that you may have pushed him too hard in the previous 2 games. Would that alter your decision on whether or not to play him next time around?
No, I totally refute that as well too, obviously. Get an opportunity to respond. No, I thought it was considering that James had declared himself fit. He played the first game. He didn't come off through injury, he came off through tiredness. And remarkably, he actually trained on the very day at Everton, the very day that the manager was bleating about it.
Why do you think he would say that then, Ronald Koeman?
I have no idea. I think you'd have to ask him.
And just on Scott Hogan, Martin, what's the latest there? Has he decided yet on his international future?
No, he hasn't. I think that when I was speaking to his agent, he just wanted that little bit of time, of course, the international breaks, because he hasn't played a great deal of football, and this is using this opportunity just to try and make sure that his fitness is right up to scratch and that he's doing the proper things. That's fine. So I've left that alone, said that we would revisit that after these games, and let me see how he gets on over the Christmas period. So I certainly wouldn't be rushing it if that's the case. And eventually the player is the one who would make the decision. Just
finally for me, when do you expect a decision from him? When do you think he might?
I wouldn't be. I think after we played this game, we don't have a game then until we don't have a competitive game until March time. So there'll be time to discuss it then between now and then.
Martin, can you just tell us a little bit about the inclusion of the Dundalk players in the squad?
Well, I think I said that Horgan would have been included anyway in the squad the last time, but they were playing a lot of games, and I think that they had matches either side of our particular games. I've been impressed by the way that they have played and the very fact that they have competed very strongly in European football. Of course, like everything else, these are still step ups to playing international football, which is the supposed to be the creme de la creme, and we are playing against top class opposition every single time we play. We played against the Serbian side, who included players from the Bundesliga and from the Premier League, and so those things are hard to make step ups. But they've done. The players have done well. Quite a number have done very well, and I think that. Difficult decision to make, to see where you are playing, the sort of standard you're playing at, and then to make that step up. Any international manager will tell you that I don't see the German team being able to think about second or third division leagues for them. They're talking about their main leagues, but for us it's a bit different. But they've acquitted themselves brilliantly in the games, and attitude alone has been fantastic, and I think that any players who are called up from there deserve to do so.
You say you've been impressed by what you've seen from the Dundalk players. Have you been surprised?
Well, I think that you would be surprised, yes. I think that we all in this room would be surprised at the progress that they've made, and again, lads in this room would see more League of Ireland football than I do, in that sense, and I think that there would be genuine surprise at that. but naturally a very pleasant surprise.
Just a word about the opposition, Austria. Are you surprised that they go into this game with the points total that they're on? Would you have expected them to be in a better position at this stage?
Well, first of all, I think I've been quoted saying I think that they underachieved at the Euros. They were very strong in qualification, and I think they think that themselves. They're a better side than that suggested. They've also had some difficult matches away in Serbia, which we know is a difficult place to go and get a result. And they could have got something out of the game. They played very strongly in the match. Wales, I think, again, that was a tough game, and so they've played a couple of tough matches. It's hard to say in terms of positions where they should or shouldn't be. All I do know is that I think by the time that you get to 7 or 8 games, they'll be right back in it again.
Martin, just to ask you again in terms of the 2 players from the League of Ireland, it's been a story for a long time about if and when they may make a squad. Your squad there is 35 players. How close would you see the 2 lads as possibly maybe being in the actual squad, and how do you feel they would do if they were needed to actually play in this match?
Well, I think those are $64,000 questions, particularly the last one. How do they do? I don't think that you would ever really know how someone might do until actually playing it. But listen, it's still a step. It's still a step up. And it's a step up for anybody playing in. It's a step up for boys playing in the Championship to come and then play international football. As over the last couple of years, I've experienced that the players have had to come and get to them, try and get themselves to another level. So that is difficult. So how one would never know how someone might cope. But have they deserved an opportunity to be involved in the squad? Absolutely.
Have you spoken to either of them, and how do you feel they'll do in the group if they do come in?
No, I keep in contact with the manager, which is fine. I think that, if the players are called upon, I'm sure. Tomorrow evening's another big evening for them. The cup final as well too on Sunday, so they've got plenty of things to look forward to before they ever entertain any thoughts about anything else.
And just in terms of the strikers, man, you've named just 4. No Shane Long, which you mentioned earlier on. Does that possibly mean that John Walters has been used a lot in a wide area, may be the possible central striker?
Well, John, when Shane went off, John came up and played centre forward. It's not an unusual position for him. He's done it when he at Stoke. He's done it for a number of years. He can play in a number of positions for us. And I thought he made a marked difference to us in the last 25 minutes of the game. A marked difference at centre forward. He did very, very well indeed.
Okay. Any other questions?
Cheers. Martin, for an international manager, what's it like going into the last round of club games? We often hear club managers worried about their players going away on international duty, but to go into the last round of club games before a crucial international game like Austria, what's that like for an international boss?
No, I think that you have to get used to it for a start. We've lost a number of players even before the last week. A number of important players. I've just gone through it. Shane's out. James at this minute would be a doubt, and we've obviously John O'Shea and Stephen Ward, Kieran Westwood. I could go through the list. It's endless. We've had to cope every single game that we've played in an international match. We've had to cope without players somewhere along the way, and it's hard, more difficult for us than it would be for other nationalities who have got squads from bigger leagues to pick from. It is a concern. You just when it happens, when you get the call that some players are injured in the last week, that's a possibility and possibly even a probability. But so you just curse your luck and get on with it.
Okay. Thank you very much.